You never really understand who they are as people, right? Or how the organization works. What's it like to grow up in the galaxy and have that perspective, thinking that the Empire is about order and stability and that the rebellion is about chaos, and then want to become an Imperial pilot. That was really where this idea came from. Let's begin at what everybody thought was the end. You have all of these questions about like what happened between the Death Star and Starkiller Base. And so we just wrote a bunch of one-page treatments about this kind of untold history. If we want to tell a Battlefront story, you have to do that from a soldier's perspective. We took that down to Lucasfilm, we kicked it around with them, and so we came up with the idea of Imperial Special Forces.
I still remember my last orders, the day the real war began. I am Janina Gavankar, and I play Commander Iden Versio. Iden has been trained to be a leader since she was a child. She had a natural ability, mostly because her father was a high-ranking officer in the Empire, and she had somebody to look up to.
This is the catalyst for Iden, where she learns the future of the Empire, and she's elevated to a point by her father.
The Emperor is dead. This messenger's presence is a great honor.
Operation Cinder is to begin at once.
That we took is a different one, where we started with each individual designer thinking about what they want to do and bringing that to the table, and then kind of seeing how we create the game out of that.
Authenticity is a really, really big deal for us. Photogrammetry adds a really interesting dynamic to the whole video game creation process, because you have to get up and you actually have to go to a place. We drew inspiration from everything on location. That took us all over the world because we need to bring the audience on the journey with us. And if you just create fantastical new planets, people kind of look at them and they just see it as science fiction. And that isn't what Star Wars is.
And true to the multiplayer experience being built by DICE, combat is this open sandbox of possibilities. So you can fight with gadgets, with customizable droids.
Like any great Star Wars character, they need a droid sidekick, and that's what we have here.
So the main idea was basically controlling the pitch on one side and LFO depth on the other side, so that you can have like a more R2-ish and then a more gritty sounds.
The Star Wars storytelling style, right? They switch from the protagonist to the antagonist perspective. Having this ability to be Iden and then be able to step into the shoes of like Luke Skywalker or Kylo Ren, the magic of the game all just comes together and you feel like absolutely empowered. The most exciting thing is getting to ask questions that I've been thinking about my whole life. Like, where did the lives of these characters go? What happened to the galaxy? What happened to the Empire without an emperor?
Watching Inferno Squad go through their trials and tribulations in this world while they're trying to do what they believe is good is what you're going to experience.
We have to create something that could live on in other mediums. We have to take risks, we have to be bold, we have to push everyone's boundaries and leave a good footprint behind.